Oh, yeah. They've got no mana to give stuff life gain. They should block the other 5/5. They almost had us. It was crazy how much value they got on the field there, right? Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we're playing with Selfless Ascension. This deck is absolutely insane. I cannot even begin to describe some of the brand new synergies recently discovered by the one and only big-brained Mitch Spade, who played this deck up to Mythic rank number 14, and I myself today am in Mythic with it, utilizing an 85% win rate, going 6-1 in best of one, and the one loss that did occur was of my own fault, right? So there's a little misplay in there. Look for that. Let me know in the comments below if you think it would have made the difference, because it's pretty easy to pick out. And again, an 85% win rate in Mythic rank, best of one. Selfless Ascension is absolutely insane. Of course, if you're not interested in the deck deep dive, where we break down the strategies, synergies, why each individual card was chosen to be included in the deck, everything you're going to want to know to be playing this deck as effectively, as efficiently, as humanly possible. Like I said, if you're not interested in that, you can skip right into the gameplay with the chapter function below. Of course, if you guys do find any value within the video, please like, subscribe, and share the channel out to your friends. With that all out of the way, let's break down Mitch Spade's Mythic ranked 14 Selfless Ascension deck. We'll go through the cards, and then we'll talk about some of these crazy strategies and synergies. See if you can pick them out while we talk about the cards. 4 copies of Alseid's Life's Bounty. Now, this is our first 1-drop. It has a lifelink. It's a 1/1. We can pay 1 to sacrifice it, giving another target creature or enchantment that we control protection from the color of our choice until the end of turn. So, of course, we can use this defensively to stop forms of removal or keep a blocker alive. We can also keep it offensively. If our opponent has blockers that all share a color type, we can, pick that color type and our protected creature becomes unblockable. So that's an easy way to get in with lethal damage. 4 copies of Selfless Savior, another 1/1. We can sacrifice it at instant speed without paying any mana, which is spectacular, to give another target creature we control indestructible until the end of turn. If there's any Shatter the Skies, single target removal, Selfless Savior is a very good way and a very cheap way to keep some of our high priority creatures in play. 4 copies of the Swarm Shambler, one of my favorite green creatures in Zendikar Rising that's not Kazandu Mammoth, replacing the Pelt Collector in my opinion. This is a 0/0 that enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it, so it'll enter play as a 1/1 basically. And of course, whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. So if there is any single target removal, we're going to be creating 1/1 insects out of that, and at least receiving some value instead of just having it immediately removed and being left with nothing. 4 copies of the Stonecoil Serpent. This is a 0/0, much like the Shambler. It's an X-converted mana cost card, so this allows us to play it for whatever we want. Of course, if you do play it as 0, it will enter as a 0/0, and things cannot survive with 0 toughness, including things with indestructible, which you may not know. So if you have minus effects, these minus effects in the toughness can kill creatures with indestructible, which is pretty cool. So of course, you're casting this for 1+, and it can be anything you want. It's really cool within the deck, just to cast it as a 1/1. But like I said, we're going to talk about some of the strategies and synergies later. Moving on, we've got 4 copies of Angelic Ascension. This is our first 2-drop. It's an instant speed spell to exile target creature or planeswalker. Its controller creates a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. So again, similar to Outside of Life's Bounty's protection, we can use the Angelic Ascension both offensively and defensively. If our opponent has a planeswalker or a creature that we just absolutely cannot deal with, sure, worst case scenario, you zap it, turn it into a 4/4 angel. There's worse things that have happened, right? This is much better than folding the game to an Elder Gargaroth, a Terror of the Peaks, an Ugin, a Garruk, right? So there's lots of really good things that you could take off of your opponent's board state defensively, or also offensively. There's plenty of 1-drops in the deck. Turn one of those 1-drops into a 4/4 angel to bash your opponent with, and it is instant speed, so you can do this as a flash blocker, which is really cool. Rogues are everywhere. You know, you can exile one of your creatures that is tapped because it attacked. You get a 4/4 with flying in play. You block their Thought Thief, and that's going to be a start to a very friendly game for you. 3 copies of our Luminarch Aspirant. This is a 1/1. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. This is absolutely amazing because we're able to spread our +1/+1 counters and take utmost use of our Swarm Shambler's ability. So whenever anything gets targeted by single target removal, the Shamblers will create insects for us. And do remember that the Shambler is non-legendary, so that ability is stackable. So if you've got 2 Shamblers, they target something, you're creating 2 insects. 3 Shamblers, they target something, you're getting 3 insects. So, you know, you can really pile on the value that way with tokens. And of course, the Luminarch Aspirant can also put the +1/+1 counters on stuff like the Stonecoil Serpent to really make use of the trample. And not to mention, we do have those 4/4 flying angels, which can now be 5/5s and so on and so forth. 4 copies actually, of Kenrith's Transformation. This is one of the coolest cards in the deck. Elk, elk, elk. It reminds me of Oko, and boy, do I ever miss it. And the power level is that high. So when Kenrith's Transformation enters the battlefield, draw a card. Absolutely amazing. Drawing a card for 2 mana, whoop-de-doo. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a green elk creature with base power and toughness of 3/3. Elk, elk, elk. That's where you break the game. As soon as a card says elk on it, you really have to take a second look. And now, why is this card so good? We're going to talk about that in a second after we finish the rest of the deck list, but here is where the true magic lies. 4 copies of the first Iroan games. This is our first 3-drop. It is an enchantment saga, so it triggers when it enters the battlefield, and then on each of the following upkeeps of your own. So, of course, when it does enter, to create a 1/1 white token. Following upkeep, put 3 +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. That's great synergy with our Shambler. It doesn't matter if it goes on the 1/1 token or another creature. And then, of course, after that, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw 2 cards. This gets shut down sometimes, sadly, but if you can have it trigger and draw 2 cards, you know, that's going to be absolutely ideal. And then finally, create a gold token, which we can sacrifice for a mana of any color, which is quite nice. And, you know, maybe that might be a Plains because we have the dual Plains cost within the Skyclave Apparition. It's a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, exile 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or greater, which is absolutely absurd for 3 mana. And when it leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is that card's converted mana cost of the exiled card. So, you know, when they do remove it, they're going to get a an XX blue illusion creature token, maybe, with the apparition. So, you know, such a good card. In Best of 1, if you're playing white, you almost have to have a copy of Legion Angel involved. This is a 4/3 with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to reveal a card named Legion Angel from your sideboard, bringing it into your hand. So it's a 4/3 with flying that draws you a 4/3 with flying. That's as good as it gets, and of course you can chain those off until you've got all 4 in play. 3 copies of our Questing Beast. This is a 4/4 with Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste. Cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control cannot be prevented. That is amazing. And of course, whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to a Planeswalker that they control as well, which is just almost godlike. Of course, we do have 4 Branchloft and Boulderloft Pathways for the Selesnya land, 8 forests and 10 plains, 3 additional angels in our sideboard. So now that we're familiar with the deck list, let's take a look at some of the more in-depth strategies and synergies you might not be aware of yet. In the deck's case, it comes in the form of Kenrith's Transformation. We get to draw a card when it enters the battlefield, and of course we're enchanting a creature that will lose all abilities and becomes a 3/3 green elk. This is amazing because we are farming +1/+1 counters on most of our creatures. Even though our creature will lose its abilities and become a 3/3, the +1/+1 counters will transfer, and of course there will be no summoning sickness because it's already been in play. So, you know, something like the Stonecoil Serpent gets played for 1. On turn 2, you have 2 mana, you play the Transformation on the Serpent. The Serpent becomes a 4/4, and you drew a card. So very, very high value there, not only with the Serpent, but with all of our counter-based creatures. And then, you know, the Skyclave Apparition. This is a 2/2 that exiles something like we talked about. When we enchant it with the Transformation, it loses all of its abilities. So, you know, not only do you get to draw a card when it enters the battlefield, the Skyclave Apparition becomes a 3/3, so it receives a buff of +1/+1. And now it's lost all of its abilities, so when it dies, your opponent won't get that XX blue illusion, which is, you know, absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, Mitch. Congratulations on your massive brain. That's all I have to say, right? This is something that I've totally overlooked. I've been playing 2 new decks every single day, and Kenrith's transformation on the Skyclave Apparition is insane. It is so good, you guys. So, you know, those are 2 of the biggest hidden synergies in the deck. Of course, you know, you have your Angelic Ascension, which exiles the creature. So if there's any negative effects on your creature, you can exile it to bring back an angel, which is really cool. And of course, we talked about it being instant speed, so you can do this on your opponent's end step. So it's almost like the summoning sickness is immediately gone because they won't have a chance to interact with it unless they've got untapped instant speed mana. Again, using Alseid and Selfless Savior not only to protect our creatures so we can get that tempo damage in, but utilizing them for the transformation, for the ascension, basically evolving them or ascending them into the heaven to deal big boy damage, right? Alongside our Legion Angel and Questing Beast, of course. So, you know, there's not too much into the deck that you guys don't already know about. Of course, try to put +1/+1 counters on everything. So, you know, the Swarm Shambler is going to be super effective here. And then, you know, create Elks, create Angels, power them up with the Aspirants, and go forth to victory. So I hope you guys learned a little bit about the deck here, of course. And if you found any value, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. And, you know, we will be back with 2 new decks every single day for the foreseeable future. So I hope you're ready. Buckle up. It's going to be a really cool 2021. Of course, if you want to support the channel financially, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member, dropping your Twitch Prime on me, or both, right? We also have a Patreon, of course, as well. So, you know, I'm getting tired. We've done 3 videos today. The deck is an absolute banger. Again, 85% win rate in Mythic. Kenrith's transformation is the sleeper here. You can cast it on the Skyclave Apparition and send your opponent to the mental hospital. They will go insane. Such cool plays today, you guys, and such an aggressive, fast-paced deck. Sorry, Ugin, you're not going to catch us today. All right, you guys, we're going to get into the gameplay. I hope you enjoy, and we're back, of course, for our wrap-up thoughts after that. Our opponent goes first. We do have a key card within our Ascension. We are ready to rip. Haste is not good. Neither is mono red. Playing both our Savior and the Shambler. No block. First strike kills us. Get another Shambler in play. Get some Indestructible in play. We can attack. Let's just keep pace. Kind of. An immediate Annex. I'm happy to exile. No blocks. I don't want them just to make the Satyr. Please and thank you. Let's hit for 3. End our turn. We have Indestructible. Phoenix sucks. It goes right over our heads. Right? Not the worst, but not great. It is also a blocker for Ascension. Gambler. Bounty. Force for Beast later. I'll attack. We'll just give protection or whatever. They know this, so they just take it. They're down to 11. We can flash block with a 4/4 on the Phoenix. Hopefully there's no Questing Beast. If there is, we can still protect it with the Savior. Killing a Phoenix. Flash blockers are the best. We had a pretty decent hit. Six. Reach for 4. All right, let's let this streak continue because we've been playing a lot of jank and a lot of free-to-play deck testing, so we're low in percentages. Our opponent goes first, Lurrus of the Dream Den. Rogues are cycling, can't wait. Could it be even mono white life gain? All 3 are fun. Lurrus is just something else. Oh, great, Rogues. That's the best of them all. Rogues are everywhere. I made a free-to-play Rogues deck that actually was able to beat some of these finely tuned Rogue decks, so if you have not a lot of rares or mythics and you want to play the best decks, check out my free-to-play playlist. You know, we've got absolute bangers for you guys. The Wind Robber is ugly. I'll trade with it, in all honesty. They're not into it. They just want to mill us. And that's fine. I get it. Here comes the mill. So they played the Thought Thief at sorcery speed, which allows us to Skyclave it. If they would have kept it, that would have been better. But they do get an Aspirant off the top, so that hurts my feelings. Some value for them, I guess. They also get an increased mill, but they're tapped, right? So we know there's no counter magic, and that makes this just about the easiest decision I've ever made. Bleep, bloop, blop. And let's tie the game up here. Hit for 3, down to 19. They do have, obviously, the mill on us, which is about the last thing that I want to happen, but we're going to do our best, and you know, if we get to some Angelic Ascensions and flash block some Rogues, that would make me smile. Maybe they're already upset about the Skyclave Apparition. You know what I mean? They could kill it. We've got 3 engrave. It's just a drown in the lock. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Right? It's not really hard work. They're here, right? They've got no grave. Lurrus is useless without a grave. I've got 3 mana open. They should attack before they do anything. There's that drown in the lock we were talking about. And I'm going to protect it with a pout. Just give it indestructible. So now the block goes away and Apparition stays in control of that 2/2 illusion. Or blue illusion. I shouldn't call it a 2/2 as it is a XX, but, you know, it's a 2 mana cost card. Our turn. The plot thickens. I want value before we go crazy. We still have a really nice attack here. They could have flashed in a Thought Thief, but from their first play, I think that they're not going to do that, so we can basically play with our guard down. Oh, what? I was actually looking at making a deck around this. This is really cool. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player's graveyard or hand, exile it. You may cast that card as long as it remains exiled and spend mana as though it were any color, which is really nice. They're going to take our Skyclave. Transformations are nice. Obviously, I'm going to transform this 1/1 soldier. Well, you know, maybe not. Maybe we transform the Apparition, and then they can't exile it? That's a thought, right? Because the Apparition can't exile tokens, which we are kind of focusing on. Oh, they get our Ascension. That hurts. One mana isn't enough to do anything here, so we do hit for 8, down to 7. One Savior goes. We're still going to make them take the Apparition. This blocks the Flyer. Going as wide as we can. We still have the 2 dogs that we can sack if we want. Actually, I guess we can only sack the 1. Lost its abilities because it's an elk. Man, I miss Oko. I would just scream elk at the camera whenever it got played. No, you're an elk. Oh, nice. So that takes our draw away from us. It also takes them from playing our Apparition if they don't have land in hand. Which is nice. Right? Because if we can keep our Apparition healthy, we're still going quite wide. Getting our draw taken away from us via the first Iroan games, it does hurt. But it's not the end of the day, right? They've got 2 mana available. They need to defend at this point. They're not. They are not worried about defending. We have that reach, and I'm not sure if they've considered that. So they're going to sack here for the draw. No. Oh, we only have 6 engrave. Oh my gosh, that needs 8 engrave to sack. It's working out for us, our turn. We need that land. Too bad it's not the gold token already. Let's take our hit. They're totally tapped. We have Indestructible through the 1 Savior, wherever that happens to go. We protect it because the 2/2 would become a blocker here. And just like that, the streak continues. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We have to mulligan this hand. It simply will not do. This is looking a little friendlier, and if we can pull that 3rd, we're cooking. Let's toss a transformation for now. I like the draw 2 of the games. Speaker of the Heavens might be worth the elk. Let's go into defensive mode here. Let's make it a 3/3 for next turn. I guess we probably should have done that first, but, or defended. Oh my god, that's a misplay and a half. That's not what I wanted. I thought it would, exile and bring it back like the Ascension did. This is our first 3 matches with the deck, and typically I don't read the cards. I mean, as long as they're not at 27, it's not a threat. And we should play defensively, even though we can take them down from 27. Yeah, let's do that. Unless they buff the speaker up, it's not really going to be a problem. Which, being rare, they might have. It could even be a, you know, a Heliod. Which would be unpleasant, and maybe then the blocker there is good, but, you know, it's a decision you're going to have to make. Do you want to try to play defensively and, you know, build around so they can't ever get to you? Or do you just try to keep their health down from 27? I think if we go aggro enough, it'll work. And by playing the games, we have 2 creatures, so not just 1 creature is always nice. Vanishing Light on the games, probably. Yeah. Which isn't the worst case. We still receive some value. The priest can attack, but that's it. Which is good. That's, like, not bad for us. And now we know that there's no Heliod there, in my opinion. We're just looking for the land. Let's make another 1/1 here. Just repeating our turn. The 1/1 can strike in. We'll keep the Savior to defend. Right, we have them down from 27, so let's just chill out a bit. We could have went all in, maybe. Again, these are the decisions you have to make. If we had the second planes for the apparition, then we could have taken the speaker and went full out, but I would hate for, you know, the Hallowed Priest to gain life gain somehow. If we were tapped, right? The Griffin is okay for us. So, unless they have a Revitalize. And even Revitalize costs 2, does it not? Ooh, Light of Hope. Instead of gaining 4 life to trigger the Griffins, they take care of our Iroan games again. Crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take Banishing Light. Grab our games back. It re-enters play, so we get the token again. Which is fine. And, we have all of these to defend now, so the 3/3 should be able to go in. They could double block, but I doubt it. 13, which is way off 27. Another Banishing Light. Hot dog. Absolutely crazy stuff. But that spends their mana for the turn, so I don't mind that. No attacks. We can double block with tokens. So here's the big brain play of the day. The Apparition will lose its abilities, and therefore when it dies, they're not going to get that card back. And we draw a card into the Questing Beast, which is great. Aspirant enters. You know, it's just good stuff as far as I'm concerned. Let's put it on a 1/1 token, and then we can smash in with 3 for 8. I think that they might block the Apparition. No. I was maybe expecting a double block so they could get, you know, an illusion, but that's fine. And, you know, it's actually a really cool play to take the abilities of the Apparition away. So you're getting the Exile, and then, you know, you're upgrading it, basically, putting a +1/+1 on it, and drawing a card for 2 mana, and they don't get the card back. So I think that's a very, very good play that until now has gone undiscovered, and, you know, I'm happy to showcase it to you guys. I think that might do it here. Linden is great. You know, what a better drop than that. No attacks, and let's turn the engine on here. I think it's just lethal, right? It does not matter. Let's just swing in with everything. Math! Right? Kenrith's transformation on Skyclave Apparition is the coolest synergy I've seen all week. Very, 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 very cool. Absolutely amazing. We're gonna get roped here. I don't know why people take Hello Good Game that way. I give a heart after. It's sent with love. Right? It's a hard life. The replayability of our Iroan games was really nice to make the additional token. Again, what really saved the day is the Apparition, which re-triggered the games, and then the Kenrith's transformation on top of it, giving it, you know, even more value. And, you know, we are a frequent flyer into the Sodium City here, so you're going to want to watch your blood pressure here. Because that heart is gonna pop, baby. Yeah, this is what's known as an Alt F4, right? Auto concede, uninstall, Control Alt delete. You know, all those cool key commands just to shut her down for the day. Even just press and hold that power button, baby. This will get you there, and you know, can move on. Bingo, bango, bongo. 3 in a row. A 100% win rate in Mythic. Tearing it up. Even as we're just learning the deck, right? These are our first 3 matches, and it's performing, you know, incredibly well. We go first. The hands are not bad. I mean, we do have a Swarm with an Aspirant, so let's get after it. Hopefully it's not rogues. I would rather risk it against cycling. Oh, it's mono black enchantments. Okay, so we have to take the turn off because we don't want a Mire's Grasp. But the Indestructible doesn't protect against --/ effects. Ooh, I hate that. If we double Shamble, that's nice, I guess, because it makes lots of tokens. So that's a thing. Maybe lots of insects could be good. We probably want to just elk the Eidolon, though, right? Take our draw, get rid of it. They play slow, too, which is really nice. I bet it's still a dead weight. Scry to the top. We could double block it. Alright. Not good, but it gives us somewhere to start from, right? We put it on ourselves. That way, if they target it, we still get an insect. Which is something, I guess. Not great. Look how many cards they have in their hands. Alright, they're making zombies. That's unfortunate. It's probably worth elking that as well. In all honesty. Oof. At least they're, you know, getting rid of the things. So they won't be replayed. The protection is really nice, in all honesty. Don't want to lose Alseid, so it sucks that we're targeting our Shambler. But the draw is really nice. What if we go all out? Let's go crazy about it. It's a big hit. That definitely requires blockers. Why we tacked with the Luminarch Aspirant, I'll never know. There's a little bit of a misplay there. Whoops. You know, don't do stuff like that. I think we're in a good position still. 2/4/4s in play. They're not making any zombies here, so they have to just play on 3 lands. I think they're allowed to play till 4 if they have it in hand. We're safe from the Mire's Grasp. They can double dead weight us. Outside of Life's Bounty's gone, so, you know, I actually don't mind that. As long as they don't get the draw off them, right? Beast in play should help us win the game, even after that colossal misplay. You guys learn from my mistakes, though, right? Try to include all of the footage. Ooh, 2 Alseids. And they tap, which is fine. It was a big hit. They gain some life, but I'm not worried. Land in play. Kenrith's transformation on top of the Swarm Shambler is really nice because the +1 counters transfer. Heartless Act at sorcery speed on the beast. They definitely don't want to see that around. All that glitters, plus they make a zombie. So we get hit for 5, and they make a zombie. They might defend here, though. which is smart. Land sucks. Let's try to take out the Cacophony. Down to 6 if not. We do have the Chump Blocker on the zombie, and, you know, they've got a couple other things to exile to limp them along. A Lurrus to bring into hand here, I'm sure. Oh, Sentinel's Eyes for Vigilance. Nice. Nice! We need Death Touch. Oh, that's game. All off a little misplay. It sucks, but, you know, get all that glitters out of here. We still clear the zombie away. And we're gonna have to deal with Sentinel's Eyes again on the Angel, which is unfortunate. They can't do it at flash speed, or instant speed. That's a sorcery shenaniganzos, so... Whether or not they trade with the Angels on them, you know, either way works. They're in a position where attacking's not really possible, right? Even though they have access to all the glitters, it needs to go on Lurrus for the life gain, because they shouldn't be attacking with that. Really? Oh, it's a... That's so annoying. That is so annoying. They have lethal anyways. Right, we should take this out to survive, but... I guess we take all that glitters. We smash in. You know, they're not going to block. They just take it. And, we'll show ourselves out. We know it's a no-win scenario. That's our first loss, and I think it came due to an itsy-bitsy misplay attacking with our Luminarch Aspirant there. I just got too excited. We go first. Land's great. There's nothing on top of it, and we have an immediate concede. Hey! Alright, the land's not there, but I mean, we do have a decent turn 2. Shambler's easy to sneak in as soon as we find the forest. Our opponent's playing slow, which is great. Ooh, that's interesting. Hopefully we can find a forest off the top. We can double play. Cynic land, Bant land, could be Shatter. Could be Into the Royal, Petty Theft. Oh, Heliod's Punishment. That's actually fine, though. We can ascend it, and the punishment leaves. So I want to stack over here. We're untapping this. It actually loses the ability, which is the most harmful thing. Alright, let's take our tap. We're not defending. Not that I don't think it can defend either. Attack or block. Yeah, it's just a dummy. Where's that frickin' forest? Am I right? We want to do this at instant speed, probably. We may as well take it now because we can't defend. Let's see what they play. We do have an apparition. Or apparition. They take the Scry, and that's exactly what we want to take out. Alright. We're gonna exile the Aspirant. Take our 4/4. Still looking for a forest. I have no idea where it is. I guess we're playing mono white. Oh gosh. We should probably go on the Angel, hey? It's a good hit, down to 9. Looking for a forest, lol. Where are you, forest? Okay, another Archon. Do they have something to play on top of it? It's a big hit. Do they have chump blockers through, yeah, they do. Omen of the Sea. Which is good. I mean, they could double block something. We should have had our Alseid in play first. I might play Reach for 3. No, they want to keep the engine alive. To gain a bit of life. We need some form of protection in play. We're just playing this for 1, getting it in the fray. They need flash enchantments. You know, we are fairly wide. Happily ever after. Interesting. We each gain 5 life. And we also draw a card. Which is absolutely amazing. Thank you. I wonder what we'll use that on. It's still not a forest! Treacherous Blessing. Nice. So they get the life gain. They get the draw. This is becoming awkward. Right? This is becoming very, very awkward. They didn't even attack, which they're going to regret here. I don't know if this deck even has force in it at this point. We take Archon. These tokens lose life gain. That's what I was fearing. I don't know if the protection of white drops the Archon from underneath of it. No, it's totally different than something equipped to it. So they're down to 3. We keep the Apparition alive. We could turn this into a 6/6, but it's easily chump blocked. Our mana's tapped out. We don't have protection. Enigmatic Incarnation. You know, they have to pay life for these things, right? Through the Blessing. So they have to do nothing past their turn, then sack the Blessing, and they get a creature that is of 4 CMC. So we'll have to see what that ends up being. I imagine it's another Archon, right? 1 Sun's Grace, please. Holding our breath. Oh, another punishment. And they go down to 1. Nice. They're very confident here of this Treacherous Blessing, sack and pull, I guess. It has to be Archon of Sun's Grace. What else would it be? Yeah. Wow, there's the green source. That's not going to attack anyways. Let's just protect the Apparition, right? That's the coolest tech I've ever seen. We get the draw. They have 5 life to gain. So we can only attack with the 2. And this may as well tap here. Right, because we can't block with it either. They do need to block both of these. There's no double block, so they both survive, you know. They get another turn to wipe us. If they wipe us, I'm gonna cry. I don't doubt that they have it. Alright. 3 cards in hand. A real nail biter. I guess, I don't know. Okay, a 1/4 with reach, Constellation, gain 2 life when an enchantment enters the battlefield. And that helps out a bit. Another blessing, you know, drawing a bunch of cards. They actually gain life for that. Nice, I really like that. Nexus Warden with Treacherous Blessing. Very cool. 3 mana left. Plus they get to pull, you know, another crazy creature. They could have cast that after they sacked the Blessing, so they didn't have to, you know, lose life. And the Scry is going to be basically nullified because they shuffle with the Incarnation here. So they get the draw, but the Scry's garbage because they're drawing from anywhere here, sacking their Blessing. We had them down to 1 life as well, so they're doing a great job of gaining life. Oh, they're just pulling a 3-drop instead. I wonder what it is. Maybe it's their own apparitions. Uh-oh, a Heliod. Interesting. Now that is awkward. Alright. We finally found all of our forests. As far as where they were. You know, we probably want to draw engine. Alright, let's get some draw going on. Get a Shambler in play. You know, we're tapping this. They have reach. We hit for 9. Okay, over for 5. The creature survives, which is really good. The draw should help us, as long as there's not a field wipe. They are in just a spectacular position to blast us. Enigmatic Incarnation allows them to do absolutely anything. They have a ton of mana. They've got 4 cards in hand. Here comes an insane draw. Look at this draw here. Woo! They're going to mill themselves down to 27. We're up at 43, so it just gives a little example of how much they're drawing. And, you know, this is very cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think we got turned around. What do you guys think? They sack 1, so they're pulling a 5-drop. A Yorion. You dog! Let's let him play it out. They probably haven't got this far in a while. So we're getting dominated, right? This is a full control deck. Really, really cool stuff. They're gonna sack the Blessing. They don't want to... Oh, they do. Elite carded, indestructible. Really? Gonna be drawing a bunch of cards, I guess. Which is fine. They're at 25. We're still in a position to go really quite wide here, which I respect, and it could be good for us. I'm not sure where Heliod's intervention went, or whatever. As far as what we're buffing up, it should go on the trample. Right? Another Shambler in play. They have no life gain. If they block the 2 5s, we hit for 4, 8. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They've got no mana to give stuff life gain. They should block the other 5/5. They almost had us. It's crazy how much value they got on the field there, right? And one of the better matches we played today, and an incredible win rate. You know, we're absolutely blasting it, but we did get them, thankfully, because that was about to get out of control. Our opponent goes first. We have no 1-drop. We do hold a Legion Angel, though, so if we can get to that, it's going to be great, right? A 4/3 with flying that when it enters the battlefield draws you another 4/3 with flying, and so on and so forth. Okay. I'll take it. So, let's Serpent for 1. We can turn it into an Elk, making it a 4/4, drawing us a card. I guess. Right? Hopefully there's no Bone Crusher here. No, I guess that was a passage, so they're untapped, right? Savior makes it safe. It's probably Naya Winota. Our first plane's in, and this is going to take us to a 4/4 with a draw. And we're going to start bashing in here. Not too shabby. The dog is gone, so if we can mitigate all of the non-human attackers, and then, you know, Skyclave Winota when she hits, it's going to be our best bet. Stride to the top. Lotus Cobra in play. It just makes sense. Right? Down to 16. Only 4 cards left in hand. I'm sure one of which is a land, taking them down to 3. Another Cobra. Interesting. Being greedy. Bone Crusher Giant always is. Always is, man. Let's just play with the Angels. We talked about how broken this was, so let's showcase it. And unless they double block, that's another chunk of damage. The Bone Crusher Giant doesn't have haste, so that allows us to basically rain terror with the Legion Angel. Let's do one more Legion Angel. All attacks. They could trade with the Giant. I'm fine with that, right? Now our Lovestruck, or our Questing Beast won't be blocked when we play it. And we'll have enough mana to actually use an Angelic Ascension if we want as well. No blocks. Oh, I guess we already have lethal just in the air. Good game, and you know, we pile in on these wins. We're up to 85%. Just slaying it. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we're playing with Selfless Ascension. This deck is absolutely insane. I cannot even begin to describe some of the brand new synergies recently discovered by the one and only big-brained Mitch Spade, who played this deck up to Mythic rank number 14, and I myself today am in Mythic with it, utilizing an 85% win rate, going 6-1